Hello! You know, there's a lot of cards that seem absurdly powerful but which have extremely small and underwhelming backstories. Or the other way around, some are harmless but actually have some of the longest and most expansive backstories in the entire game. Which conveniently brings me to a question some people have asked me. Lore Stalker, they say. Who is Dr. Boom? Really? Really? Dr. Boom. You want to know about this guy? Seriously? You have people like Malorn, or Kel'Thuzad, or Cho. He's not in the game yet. Give him some time. Well, fine. Here you go. In the southeastern end of the Eastern Kingdoms, east of Stormwind in the Blasted Lands, is the Dark Portal. The portal through which orcs, ogres, and more entered the world of Azeroth, thanks to the antics of a certain warlock. Through this portal is Draenei, homeworld of orcs, though nowadays it's called Outland, the floating, broken, and dying remains of a young planet. In the northern end of Outland you'll find the Netherstorm, a land of advanced deterioration brought on by blood elves. Here, the goblins of Area 52, yes, Area 52, failed to keep secret their plans to build the first nether-faring rocket in history. Which honestly is a bloody awful idea. I mean, the nether isn't just space, it's like space but filled with demons. I mean, seriously, it's where you get things like Archimond and giant flaming ducks. Area 52 is a strange place. There you may be attacked by Negatron, meet innkeeper Remy Dodoso, or be assailed by flashes of light that fail to wipe your memory. Goblins kind of attract nonsense. And it is here that you are sent by the head sapper of Area 52, Blast Fizzle, which is a bit of an unfortunate name for a goblin sapper, but you know, it's fine. It happens to a lot of bomb experts, no one's judging. He sends you to put an end to his apprentice, Sparky Uberthruster. You see, Sparky and the other sappers worked hard in a part of Area 52 heavily inundated with magical radiation, and radiation has a tendency to drive people from Azeroth completely insane.
Usurpers! Nomergan is mine!
Poor Sparky was no different. Donning a black cloak, surrounding himself with stolen sapping equipment, and calling himself Dr. Boom, adventurers find and kill him at the Camp of Boom, in an unimportant quest by a minor NPC in an area filled with idiots. You even get his discarded helmet as a quest reward. See, this is what I meant about some cards being based on chaps that frankly aren't too interesting. Far more interesting is another short fellow we first meet in the same place, in the Netherstorm. A fellow that one loves to hate, and who time and time again proves how utterly useless he is. Who is it? None of your business. Let me take you to the edge of Netherstorm, where if you look closely, you might just see Tempest Keep. There, can you spot it? Can you spot it? This collection of enormous floating fortresses was built by the Naru, who I'll explain another time, they're a long story. And these ships, all part of Tempest Keep, acted as a home and a safe haven for the Draenei people for thousands of years. Until they crashed one and found Draenei. And then crashed another one and found Azeroth. The Mechanar, the Botanica, the Arcatraz, the Genitar, the Exodar, and the Eye. Each one served a purpose, but we'll focus mainly on the Arcatraz, the Naru prison designed to contain in stasis some extremely dangerous creatures. When the Sun Fury Blood Elves invaded Tempest Keep and took over, one poor chap named Melikar was set as the new warden of these beasts. Over time, a small, still voice seeped into his mind. Time took care of the rest, and soon enough he released the creatures that had all been imprisoned, including Eridar spellcasters, various lesser demons, elementals, even Dragonspawn of the Black Dragonflight. And these guys.
Did you call on me?
Why would I call on you?
To do your heavy lifting, most likely.
When I need someone to prance around like an overstuffed peacock, I'll call on you.
Then I'll commit myself to ignoring you.
What would you know about commitment, Sheetside?
You're the one who should be... Wait. We have company. Have you come to kill Dahlia? Can I watch?
Don't worry about me. Kill that worthless dullard instead.
Never gets old. However, it is in the encounter with the Warden himself that the worst comes to pass. The owner of the dark voice in his head, a member of the evil Silithid species, spawn of the old god Cthulhu, is freed, but not after one of the most confusing things to ever happens. Warden opens the pods containing the most dangerous creatures. One of the pods reaches the ground, opens up. Onto the floor, a small body is released.
Where in Bonzo's brass buttons am I? And who it... that is one mother of a headache.
What is this? A lowly gnome?
Lowly? I don't care who you are, friend. No one refers to the mighty Millhouse Manastorm as lowly.
Yeah, so... Millhouse. What proceeds is a boss battle with Millhouse as your ally, flinging spells at this horrifying monster. The beast is slain and the warden with him, and from there it seemed that the story of Millhouse Manastorm ended as abruptly as it began. Except, to the surprise of everyone, it continued. Oh boy, did it continue. We saw and heard nothing of Millhouse for years. During the war against the Lich King, we distracted ourselves with a different hopeless gnome spellcaster, but no Millhouse. We assumed he'd gone off to do his own thing. Turns out, we were right. Enter Deathwing, and the coming of the Cataclysm. The world was shattered. The Twilight's Hammer cult, led by Cho'Gall, oh look, there he is again, swarmed across the land, and under it. Within Deepholm, realm of the earth, many of the cult members had been waiting, tending to Deathwing and preparing him for battle, forging him new armored skin. Of these cultists, none were more feared than the mysterious Forge Master, whose notoriety and cruelty were legendary among cult members within Deepholm. He was ruthless, cruel, cunning. Even finding him was a matter of difficulty, for those that are asked are fearful of this mad, dangerous... It's Millhouse. The Forge Master is Millhouse. Somehow in charge of many cultists and the acquisition and hiding of an important piece of rock, Millhouse takes on an important position inside the stone core of Deepholm, defending his boss, High Priestess Hazil, from adventurers. Here we meet him. Here he utterly fails to do anything to anyone. Here he is beaten to a pulp. Repeatedly, because he keeps running away, until eventually he casts his ultimate spell, Impending Doom! Or at least he tries to, because it's at this point that a giant worm crushes him to death. Huh. Well, no matter, it was merely a setback, because he appeared again a year or so later in the Brawlers Guild, a club one can join to beat up dangerous individuals. He appeared as one of those individuals. He got beaten up. A lot. But that doesn't matter, because he showed up again 2 years later as a quest giver. This gnome just refuses to die. But don't worry, within his occupation as a quest giver in garrison inns of the Alliance and Horde, he assures us that he's put all the evil stuff behind him, and hardly ever says DOOM anymore. Though, given that he repeatedly asks about nuclear weapons, destroying the world and enslaving everyone, he may have a hard time putting old habits behind. Where Millhouse is nowadays, nobody knows. Yet. For with the Burning Legion on its way, there are... rumors. Rumors not only of Millhouse making an appearance against the flames, but also his wife. Maleficent Manastorm. Thank you for your patronage and your support. Now, go and watch someone who does good videos, because mine are absolutely awful. If you have any requests for card lore, please don't ask for another legendary. They take a lot of time, please.